That kind of nerd. Let's start the show with comics, movies, and technology. Here we go, bringing you the segments that you're looking for, like Cape Talk, Screen to Stream, Tech Perspective, and more. Cast this nerd degree and the blockbuster. Welcome to the club, 'cause you're that kind of nerd.
Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what's going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Mellon, joined by Joshua Burns and Brian Thornton.
What up?
You seem very excited to introduce me for some reason.
I'm just excited that we're all here this week, that we're all together, being able to do what we do. You know, it's nice. And this week, we got a lot to talk about. We got our segments back. Right?
Do we?
We do. We got segments this week. We're kind of getting things back to normal
notes
here. And we have probably one of the most requested topics that we've ever had to come across, which is we will be addressing the HBO Max release of the Snyder Cut. That will be coming. But I want to go with some other topics, and then we're just going to talk till we drop about the Snyder Cut. We had like 7 or 8 of you listeners reach out to us directly, just individually, and say, are you going to talk about this? Yet alone some of the things on social media. So, yes, we're definitely going to get there. But there are some things to talk about. Mainly, I want to start with the world of comics. See how it's affecting TV, see how it's affecting movies. But most of all, I think it's affecting Brian this week. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the return of Cape Talk.
Cape Talk!
The first thing that we have on the docket is a show that I think we all collectively really, really enjoyed. Coming back to Netflix for its second season, The Umbrella Academy.
Did we? Did Josh finish it?
Yeah, I finished it, yeah.
Okay. Did Josh enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
I think Josh really, correct me if I'm wrong, the way that they use music in the show was like your main thing of like, oh, this is really cool.
You like that more than I did with this show. The use of music was okay for me. And there were sort of through the middle of the story arc in season 1, I was kind of like, meh, but I like the way it wrapped up.
Was it Ellen Page? Was that not what did it for you? Was that like the...
I don't know. She's like, everything about her screams mediocrity. I'm just, she's like a walking meh. You know what I mean?
Right. Like it worked in Juno. We thought it was a character choice. And now we're like, oh, that's Ellen Page 24/7.
That's right.
Right. Okay. But Brian, you and I also really enjoyed this series, right?
Yes.
Really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good...
I highly enjoyed it.
Because everyone is alone and socially distancing, I thought this was cute that Netflix did their announcement of their official date, recreating a scene from the first season where everyone dances alone in the house. But I think we're alone now, and then all the cast in their homes just kind of dancing to the music, and revealing that Season 2 will premiere on Netflix Friday, July 31st. And the beauty of Netflix is once they drop something, it's all of it. So the whole season will be available on July 31st. So this is definitely going to go on the top of my watch list, which means I need to have The Flash and everything else done before that. Yeah, there's a lot to get through for this one.
It's 2 months away.
Right, that's enough time.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time for Brian to be like, I mean, I guess I'll watch it.
I'm already on like season or episode 15, 16 of The Flash. So I watched up to 9, and then I watched all of Crisis, and then
okay.
The next 7.
Okay. Well, you should shut your mouth, because I haven't finished Crisis. I haven't even started Crisis.
I'm on episode 4.
You should
of
start it and finish it.
I will. I have to watch 8 episodes of Arrow first.
And then Iris becomes an asshole. You don't have to watch those episodes of Arrow. I didn't watch them. I tried.
do.
I tried watching them.
I feel you. That's why it's been on hold.
And you got Oliver's son and their daughter, and it's 2046, and it's stupid. I don't know.
I haven't. The last time I watched anything of Arrow was The Last Crisis, and I only watched the Crisis episodes, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" So,
did you watch all 5 hours? Are you like watching all of them, or?
Yeah, he's talking about the other Crisis
last year. That was last year's Crisis.
3 episodes.
I mean, Elseworlds.
Yes. Sorry.
No, Elseworlds was the season before.
The last year's crossover. The last year's crossover series. I watched all those episodes that involved the crossover, but I didn't watch anything before or after. I just watch what was part of the crossover stories. And this year will be the same thing. I'll watch anything that's just related to Crisis, but I'm not watching afterwards. So I may watch the episode of Crisis that happens in Arrow, and then just maybe the last episode of Arrow. But I'm not digging into the other, what they want me to do, which is, maybe I'll start watching Legends of Tomorrow. No, that's not happening. I don't need to watch what happened in the other 6 episodes of Legends to get to this. I fell off of that show for a while, but you know what? I'm glad we're talking about the CW because that's
so much fun.
Because it actually brings up our next topic, which is Ruby Rose has announced her exit as Batwoman with the role to be recast.
Oh, no.
And a collective, all right, good. Way to go.
Bye-bye.
So long. Don't let the good Lord hit you on the way out.
It was Elseworlds. I was right.
Josh just can't let it go.
No.
She said, I quote, "I have made the very difficult decision to not return to Batwoman next season. This was not a decision I made lightly, and I have the utmost respect for the cast and crew and everyone involved in the show, both in Vancouver and in Los Angeles."
Because Evermoist is going back on tour. She has to go front Evermoist. No, nobody gets the Pitch Perfect reference.
I did not see that Pitch Perfect. I did not watch Pitch Perfect.
I own that Pitch Perfect.
Of course you do.
I own it.
Yeah, well, you have to own all the Pitch Perfect movies.
It's actually better than the second one.
It is better than the second one.
Good, because I hated the second one.
But not as good as the first.
Well, no.
Nothing ever will be.
I'm just making sure my stance on Pitch Perfect is known.
Yes, it is. And as a matter of fact, again, I'm reiterating that now I agree that you and I saw Pitch Perfect together there. You saw that.
Do you finally remember that, you asshole?
Yeah, I do. I finally remember it. And Jenny confirmed. Which led, of course, to now the rumor mill just going crazy. Josh, we even found a rumor that Amber Heard is now in talks to replace Ruby Rose as Batwoman.
That's fine.
My take on that is a cardboard cutout of Maggie Gyllenhaal will be better than Ruby Rose as Batwoman.
She really can't act.
She is terrible. Oh my God, is she
Maggie Gyllenhaal is a terrible actress, but also
Ruby Rose.
So is Ruby Rose.
Gyllenhaal's fine.
Yeah. Maggie Gyllenhaal's okay. Better
Maggie
than Ruby Rose, but
fine.
it's a very low bar to clear. Yeah, but Ruby Rose, I mean, we weren't ecstatic that she was going to be cast. I mean, she was excited, so we were excited.
I was fine with it. She looked good. I thought she was a better actress, and then I watched the show, and I was like,
oh, now I know why you
really
were
good at this.
Really
now I know why you were a
terrible.
bit character in the Meg, right?
It makes everyone else and exposes all of the other shitty actors around her. It's really bad. Like what's her name? Melissa, whatever, Benoist, whatever her name is. She's not a very good actress.
No, I think she's great.
She's a great actress.
You're wrong.
And she's not.
No, you're wrong.
But
I will die on this hill. You're wrong.
You will die on that hill because watch every scene of Crisis with her and Ruby Rose and try not to cringe every time.
But I think at that point, that's a Ruby Rose problem.
That's Ruby Rose.
It's not. I'm telling you, she makes everyone around her. She exposes their shittiness.
No. I think if you have a bad scene actor, if you have a bad scene partner, it makes you look bad. It's not that you are bad at it.
Okay. I don't know. Nobody else seemed to suffer as badly as Melissa Benoist. I hope I'm saying her name right. I might be confusing her with Evermoist again.
No, you're saying her name right.
Her name is Benoist?
Her name is Benoist. Well, actually, she just got married. So it's probably something different.
There's no way she changed her name.
No.
Probably not. Not for acting.
No.
You don't know her personal life.
Generally, if you're Supergirl, you're not changing your stage name, right?
And what about stage
name? Say that
name?
again?
If you're Supergirl, you're not changing your stage name.
No, definitely not.
No way. Yeah, no. So, all right. Well, goodbye, Ruby Rose, and we will now be spending the next couple weeks and months figuring out who Batwoman's going to be. I mean, right now, this is kind of an interesting time to do it because with everything being shut down, there isn't a mad dash to replace her, right? This is something you can kind of take your time on because there's no production going on, even in Vancouver.
Yeah, but they can still audition.
There you go. Get her. Tell her that way. But everyone in Vancouver was really sorry to hear the news. Wish her well, and they wish they could find a situation to boot it. So anyway, do we have any hopes for Batwoman besides just give us someone who's a better actress, someone that we're enjoy watching on the screen? Is there anybody that you think should jump into this role? Or
I don't think I'm going to watch the show regardless. So for crossover sake, yeah, Amber Heard's great.
She's not even that great an actress, but okay.
She's not.
She's better than Ruby Rose.
Again, the bar very low,
right?
Very low,
right?
The cardboard cutout of Maggie Gyllenhaal will probably Katie Holmes would probably be a better actress than Ruby Rose for this. Continuing our Batman topic here, and just to get Brian angry while also being happy at the same time. So
What?
happy tissues and sad tissues. There is an amazing Batmobile documentary that is now made
that's what I wanna
available
pull up.
online. It's an hour long, right? And Brian's first question when I told him about this is, "Oh, what app is this on?" The answer is not HBO Go. The answer is not HBO Max. The answer is not DC Universe. The answer is YouTube, because Warner Brothers fucking hates DC Universe. Like, this is the
That's so fucking
this is the
stupid.
prime thing to. You have HBO. You have DC
It's
Universe. Will
it's
you?
free.
Yes. Will you go
All right.
see if the Batmobile documentary is on DC Universe?
You
'Cause
want
right
me to
now,
log into my DC
I do. I
Universe
want you to
right now?
log into your DC Universe, which you probably haven't done in like 2 weeks,
Hang on.
and see if it's even there.
I think my account expired.
Nah, I renewed mine. When it came time to renew, and they said, "Do you want to renew?" I was like, "Hell
Yeah, I never got asked. Odd. Maybe I had a card in there that I.
What I like about the while Brian's looking that up, what I do like about the documentary is they also do have bits of Chris Nolan even talking about his Tumblr, right? And Chris Nolan doing extras for movies is not the easiest thing to find sometimes.
Oh, Stargirl is now available.
Yeah, Stargirl is now available. It's
Oh,
been getting
I really need to
some mixed
catch up
reviews.
I catch up on. Okay.
Hold on. Let me give me a second. Ripley's. Yes, Brian has to catch up on. Oh, you believe it? Oh, okay. I just used Brian's joke against
What
him.
is the name of the documentary?
The Batmobile documentary. It's all.
Is that literally the name of it?
I mean, that's what it's listed as on
Let me
YouTube.
see. Let me just search for Batmobile. TV and movies. I've got Batman Returns, Batman Ninja, The Batman.
No Batmobile.
Oh, I'm not done yet.
It's not on there.
No. That's stupid. That is so. Why? That is so stupid.
Because again, they don't. Warner Brothers doesn't know what the hell they're doing with this stuff. They just don't know. We can't still figure out. And we're not going to talk about this, but I did find an article that said the difference between HBO Go, HBO Now, HBO Max. I mean, good luck with that, buddy. All right, you let me know how that works out for you. By the
Did
way,
they actually give you an answer?
No, I read
Like,
the article and it was not
in
helpful at all.
the TLDR. Is there
No.
like a no?
Nope.
There's no bottom line.
If this was on the saved you a click on Reddit, it would be they don't fucking explain it. So just people trying to do the Lord's work, but not happening. So yes, Brian. Again, I'm serious. They just don't know what the hell to do about their DC universe, and it's not looking good.
What's there to do? It was a perfectly fine app.
They're
Just
going to
throw
close
your
it down.
DC shit
They're
on
going to
it.
close it down, and you're going to lose all the cool. You're going to lose all the comic book stuff related to this. They're not giving you your comic book subscription with HBO.
That's fine, but
Go.
I paid $75
Max.
for the year, so freaking give me HBO Max then.
They'll give you HBO Max, but then you're losing all your DC comic. And from what you guys
I'm
told
not
me,
so much worried about the comic books.
yeah, but what you
like,
told me is it's one of the best comic book readers that's
it is.
available.
It's great.
Right. So we're going to lose that. That's not going to be something that's available. That should be something that, it should be something that could be brought along. That's not necessarily tied into that. But I know not everyone here is a huge documentary fan, and so be it. But I mean, if you're in love with the Batmobile, I think this is a pretty cool thing to have. There's a
I'm
YouTube.
going to YouTube right now.
Would you like?
Brian
to
is
link for
fucked off. He's gonna go watch it. It's in. Yeah, it's.
I put it in the show notes, so it's also in the show notes. The direct YouTube link, so you can have that.
Fine, I just searched for it. 58 minutes. Warner Brothers.
So help me
Entertainment.
God, if you watch this but aren't watching some Doctor Who or something like that, I'm just gonna.
Too late. I've already started it.
Well, we have a show to do, so maybe
Sounds like you have a show to do.
sounds like maybe not that. All right. Well, now that we're done with the world of comics, let's turn our attention to the world of TV and movies.
Wait, can we just really quickly?
Please.
I hope that the Batmobile documentary is all about the technical aspect of the vehicles and has nothing to do.
So let's talk about the carburetor in the Batmobile because it's very important.
This was
Right.
this is a Boss 429. Oh, this one had a big block.
We decided that for the new Batmobile, we wanted it to be electric. So let's talk about torque. So just all
This one over
technical-
here can out tow a Ford F-150, no problem. Wins a tug of war every day.
Also, it allowed Tug the
Did I
Well,
mention
Tug-
it's bulletproof?
it's stronger than Aquaman, even when he's down in the lower depths. You know, he can really just kind of get things going. So, yeah, it would be great. I would love that. Well, now that we are done talking about the world of comics, let's turn our attention to the world of TV and movies and other entertainment, and in a segment that we call Screen to Stream, which I know Brian misses that intro so goddamn much. We came across a trailer for a Netflix movie that seemed to have some things that were on the checkbox of really cool. It's called The Old Guard, and we saw Charlize Theron. We saw action, and then I think I lost Josh when we realized that they're zombies?
They're not zombies.
They're not zombies? What are they? Are they vampires?
No, they're kind of like immortals, but not
Are they
a little bit. You know what I think they are? I think they're. I think this is actually just the sequel, maybe a prequel to Hancock. I'm serious.
They're angels?
Not a bad idea.
Did you watch it?
I did.
you watch the
I
trailer?
didn't think.
I
did.
It's basically the same fucking story as Hancock.
Okay.
You gotta. I need a minute. You gotta get.
So a prequel to Hancock, I mean, it's an interesting theory. I've heard weirder. Is this something that you would watch, Josh? Is this?
This looks good. I want to watch it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it looks better than the last couple things that Netflix has done. I mean, it looks better than Six Underground. Looks better than the Extraction. Extraction, is that what it's called?
I want to watch that. It's on my watch list.
We'll watch it.
It was okay. It was good.
Yeah,
it's worth a watch.
I couldn't get through it, but you know, Charlize Theron is a badass. I mean, the story looks badass. I have no issue with it. Plus, it's kind of like you know, it's a little bit like the opposite of the League of Shadows type of deal, right? Where they're saving civilizations instead of ruining them. So I like it.
This brings up the thing that I watched when I was watching. I was last year. I was on vacation down in Florida. I was hanging out with my brother, and he was rewatching Highlander, the series, on purpose with he and his sons. My brother Mike was way into Highlander. And was having his sons.
I remember getting jeered at.
Oh yeah, I would imagine that.
Yeah, Justin and I were doing a little Mystery Science Theater on a co-ed sleepover where they were binge watching Highlander.
So my thought with that was, man, this making a new identity every a couple hundred years or every 30 years, because you met somebody when you were 30 and it's been 30 years and you haven't aged at all. You got to get the hell out of there. That doesn't work nowadays with social media, with pictures, all this stuff. And this show or movie, I'm sorry, is kind of addressing that of it's getting harder to do this shit, man. This isn't easy to recreate yourself every year. So I'm like, hey, all right, someone is having the same thought I am.
What's funny about that is you were fine. All of a sudden, 2006, not okay anymore. Not okay anymore.
What have you done?
We were fine for millennia. And now screwed.
All right, our second trailer that we got is one that even though I've watched it 3 times, I still don't know what the hell is happening, which is we got a new trailer for Tenet, which Tenet apparently is a word that you can say to open the doors, but be careful which doors you use to open it.
I mean, it looks pretty amazing.
Looks great.
I think in order to understand this movie, you have to watch the trailer in reverse.
That's what I was thinking. No joke.
That seems like some shit Christopher Nolan would pull.
That is exactly a Chris Nolan thing. Exactly what I said. I was having that thought going, I think I need to watch this in reverse and see what happens.
But it looks great.
It's so good. My favorite thing about this, at the end of the trailer, it just says coming to theaters with no fucking date. But
it's just whenever theaters open,
Chris
will
Nolan
be there.
Chris Nolan is sitting there going, I will not. There is no amount of money. There's no premise. There's nothing that you could do or say to ever make me release this directly into people's homes.
No, he filmed it in IMAX for a reason.
Him and Tom Cruise are just I hate your motion smoothing bullshit on your TVs. Fuck the way that you watch movies at home. It's wrong. You have to go to a movie theater to see this movie. But yeah, this movie looks great, and we got to see some more Robert Pattinson in it. We saw oh god, I forgot the guy's name from yesterday. Anyway, it was nice to see him. And then did we know that Kenneth Branagh was going to be in this movie before this trailer?
Not
no, and thank you very much. Anytime you get some Kenneth Branagh up in there, it's good stuff.
I'm all for it. And
is the blonde Deborah Ann Wall? Because I couldn't get a good look at her.
Who?
Deborah Ann Wall, Karen Page.
What about her?
No, I don't think that was her.
No, it wasn't. It was not her. Elizabeth Debicki
Seemed British. All right.
in Paris.
Elizabeth Debicki.
I could've
She
just
was
said
in Guardians of the
European.
Galaxy
As
too.
what, like a blue person?
The gold chick.
Oh, she was the main
Oh.
gold chick, wasn't she?
Yep.
The one that made Adam that we haven't seen at all in any of the MCU stuff. The most like throwaway Easter egg at the end of a Marvel
did
movie.
Rocket call them douchebags? What did he call them?
I don't know. What, am I using the wrong eye?
Am I using the wrong eye again? I gotta watch that movie again. I didn't like it all that much in retrospect, but I gotta watch it
Yeah,
again.
this movie needs to. Man, I need to see this movie. It looks better every single time I see it.
It
and
keeps, but every time they show a trailer, they say coming to theaters, and I go, I don't believe you.
Let me know when you let me know when theaters are opening up. Yeah, sure. Come into theaters, just like Brian's going to get through his watch list.
It says July 17th. It says July 17th.
Does it say July 17th?
It does.
I thought it just said coming to theaters and nothing else.
Really? Well,
The
IMDb
trailer
says
says coming to theaters, but IMDb is slated for July
Well,
17th.
That's never going to happen. That's not happening at all.
Yeah, we're still in the third week of Nebuary over here. We have to make it through Rocktember and Toyotathon before we get to July. Jesus.
Never have truer words been spoken. There is one bit though that I did read this week about reshuffling of movie dates, which was a bittersweet thing. Which is Keanu Reeves, as we discussed, was going to have a very interesting May. Because May 21st was supposed to be of 2021. Let me rephrase that. May 21st, 2021 was supposed to be the release of both John Wick Chapter 4 and The Matrix 4. So Keanu opening up against Keanu. And, we were probably going to have to go see both, such as life. But because of, the world going on and movies being reshuffled, we have, thankfully, we will not be having a Sophie's Choice when it comes to seeing the movies. They have now gotten staggered release.
What's Sophie's Choice? Freaking call off the entire day. I watch 2 movies. I go home happy.
No.
I don't understand what the problem is.
I don't see your problem. I don't get what's going on. But John Wick Chapter 4 has now been pushed back another year. It will be coming out in 2022. And the same thing for Matrix 4, which does not have a release date at all, but has been delayed. So we are not going to get Keanu Day of 2 movies back to back. So,
Although, you know what was moved up an entire year?
what was that?
The release of Hamilton.
Oh, yes, it was.
July 3rd.
Dude, it's right around the corner.
It's right. Well, all we have to do is get through Rocktember and Toyotathon, and we're there.
I'm so excited for this.
I'm just saying, if you were a little bit feeling sad about losing out on some Keanu, right? You get this instead.
So Hamilton will be going right to Disney Plus.
You cannot compare Hamilton to Keanu.
I
can.
prefer Hamilton to Keanu.
That sounds like
If you came to me and said, "Hey, one of these has to go," Keanu or Hamilton?
Forever?
No, for a year, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, cool. Push back to Keanu. Give me the Hamilton now.
No, I want to hear your answer. What if it was forever?
Keanu goes away. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it would suck.
I'll take Hamilton over Keanu.
That's the wrong answer.
Well, no.
That's a Sophie choice right there.
And like everybody would, I don't know anybody who's ever seen Hamilton who would disagree.
I can't wait to watch Hamilton and then tell you I disagree.
And here's the thing. You knew that if Keanu was given that decision, he'd be like, oh, I feel bad, but I can't deny people the joy that they get of Hamilton. I'll take the bullet.
Keanu would take the bullet.
Good guy Keanu would totally take the bullet. So back to the House of Mouse. The Disney Empire purchased the rights of Hamilton for the worldwide distribution rights for this for $75 million.
That seems like a lowball offer.
Well, again, if they had to put something into it, right? If they had to actually do the recording and get the setup and do all that stuff, I can imagine that would be a much higher number. But that was already filmed, and they're just like, who wants to buy it? 75 is the right number for this. But Disney was initially going to be doing a worldwide theatrical release, like a wide release of this in the theaters. But because people are just kind of clamoring for content, Disney Plus has been a huge runaway success. Why not just take this and put it on Disney Plus? And even though Josh and I will be watching this in our homes, right, probably for weeks or months or maybe even years, when they release this into theaters,
I'm there.
Going.
Gotta go.
I'm going. I'm going to go watch this on a big screen. I will see it. I will see this again. And if I have to pay money for it because A-List is dead, fine. It's the one thing I'm like, whatever. I have to pay for it twice. Okay, cool.
I will go see it in a theater again.
Yeah, and
I don't care.
They don't pay to own it, even though it's still on Disney Plus.
Yep, that's totally
for
all these things. Yes, absolutely. I need to own it on iTunes because I don't know when it may leave Disney Plus. It may go bye-byes. I don't know.
Who knows? Meanwhile, Brian,
Brian's heart did not grow 3 sizes that day.
No, but Brian's going to have to watch this because of his wife.
Oh, for sure. He's not only going to have to watch it, he's going to have to like it.
Yeah, he's going to have to watch it. He's going to have to learn a song. Hamilton.
This bucket has all of my fucks about Hamilton.
Yeah, it's an empty
Notice
bucket.
that it's empty.
That's... Why did we agree to have him on this podcast with us for 4 years? I'm regretting this decision right now. At this moment. No other moment before this. This is the first time I've been like, do we really need Brian?
It's 5 years. It's not 4.
Oh my God. It is 5 years. You're right.
It's 5 years, yeah.
Oh. But thank you. Yes, Hamilton. Definitely something we need to talk about.
Yay.
The last bit of screen to screen comes to a YouTube show. What? YouTube? Yeah, it's a small screen. It counts. John Krasinski, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't known, has been doing.
If you don't expand it to full screen, it's an even
smaller screen. Or if it's on your phone. If we talk about Quibi and screen to screen,
it's
we're good
the
on YouTube.
Smallest screen. From screen to smallest screen to stream.
If you haven't done yourself a favor of watching John Krasinski's Some Good News on YouTube, I think you're just missing out on something super special.
Agreed.
Isn't that over?
It just ended. Right, so it just ended. We're going to get to that, but I just want to say that it has been a absolutely wonderful thing to see on YouTube. Speaking of Hamilton, he got the cast of Hamilton together to sing the opening songs. Right, he's been doing a great job on highlighting just the fact that there is good things going on in the world, and the way that he's gotten some celebrities to interact with this has been fantastic. I think watching Guy Fieri get speechless when he gets a $3 million donation from Pepsi. Just by itself is an interesting moment of things happening in the life on YouTube. It's been an amazing show, an amazing thing, and he announced that he is taking a hiatus from it. The show is stopping, and the reasoning behind that, Brian, it was actually sold to Viacom CBS. So
they can corporatize it and ruin it.
Yeah, because it's been done in John Krasinski's office with like a crappy webcam and a little patch of green screen cardboard and graphics that clearly his kids made, or I hope his kids, because if not, John Krasinski's not a very good artist. But it was such a nice thing, and yeah, now CBS owns it, and who knows what's going to happen? But they're going to start making that a regular thing. If you don't think about that's I don't know how much money that cost, but it was so great. It was so good. Josh, it sounds like you were watching this. What did you think about Some Good News?
I thought it was great. I mean, it was always uplifting, without like having to be like slapsticky or even like an intentional comedy. It was always good. Right, different topics, different people on, and it seems like everybody loves John Krasinski anyway.
Yeah, when I was watching this, I'm like,
who doesn't? That man looks like a national treasure.
Right. I was thinking about this. I was like watching this so much and going, there's only one person who I can think Hollywood universally has nothing but great things to say about, and that's Tom Hanks. And I'm like, is John Krasinski trying to be like the next good guy Tom Hanks?
Really? Is it Tom Hanks though?
I think it's Tom Hanks.
Like McConaughey or.
I think you could find bad things to say about McConaughey. I don't think anyone would ever dare say one bad thing about Tom Hanks.
Except for Josh.
Even
Josh
a guy who got fired by Tom Hanks because he has, quote, dead eyes is not even mad at Tom Hanks.
All right. I mean, I'm not going to badmouth the guy. I just think he's boring.
Oh, okay.
I don't think John Krasinski's boring.
Oh, no. I think he's a level up from the Tom Hanks.
There
right?
you go. Level up.
Like, why are we talking about Tom Hanks?
I don't know.
If John Krasinski is doing this, it's just really showing you how he's a good guy. Brian, was this not something that was on your radar? Were you not watching SGA?
No, I've seen like 3 episodes of it. It was great. It was wonderful. And yeah, I do enjoy the weather segments. Is Emma Stone just looking out the window like, it looks pretty good.
Brad Pitt doing it a couple times. Yeah, it's man, it's such a nice show. I like the fact where it existed, how it existed. So I'm sad to see it take its hiatus because I looked forward to it every week. But hopefully, God, CBS, don't fuck this up. You got it's a real good thing going on. Don't mess it up. And when you bring it back and you mess it up, I'll just know I'm disappointed. All right, I already see the future on this one. You're gonna let me down.
Who's gonna take over the?
I don't know.
Chair?
Maybe the guy who did HQ. I don't know. The answer will be not John Krasinski. Therefore, all the charm is gone.
He'll do the first couple episodes and then they'll transition to another dude.
Yeah.
Like the thing was like it was cool because it was set up like what's the shit you watched in Homeroom Channel 1 or whatever that was?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was set
right.
up like that. Like it just didn't take itself too
it's like
seriously.
Spider-Man Homecomings, like morning announcement.
Just like that.
Just like that. It's just like, hey, listen, I got a camera, a small bit of production value that makes me a little bit dangerous, and
I'm really bored. I'm sure people out there are hurting, and I don't want you to. And it was just cool.
Yeah.
No, don't make it a thing.
They're gonna make it a thing. Someone saw dollars and was like, oh, okay. Like, if you get $3 million from Pepsi, you don't think at some point they're being like, we could probably monetize this, right? We can monetize this really well. So, who knows? All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that is the end of our main topics. It's now time to get to the thing that you just won't let die. The thing that just will not stop haunting me in the fucking grave. It's time to talk about the Snyder Cut.
Are you in the grave?
I'm in the grave. I'm dead from hearing about this shit. The Snyder Cut. Listen, I've spoken extensively on this. I don't think it's worth anyone's time. I think asking for it is stupid. Brian, I think, has something eloquently perfect to say about watching the Snyder Cut.
Oh, you want me to repeat what I told you?
Fuck yeah.
I'm super excited to see a movie intercut with storyboard art and previs VFX.
Yeah,
I do not care.
Remember when when Wolverine Origins leaked? And it still had the green screen and the wires.
Hey, remember when Wolverine Origins was released and the VFX still weren't finished?
Still weren't finished? Yeah. Yes, I do. That is an awful fucking movie. I would rather watch X-Men Origins Wolverine than watch this Snyder Cut. But it's happening.
Listen, unless they're going to sink in a couple more $1 million to finish the VFX and probably do reshoots, they're not. There's no freaking point in releasing this movie. No one's going to get what they want out of it.
Nope.
They're going to get a movie intercut with storyboard drawings and shitty VFX, and everybody's going to be like, oh, wasn't that good? Or like you'll have like the diehard Zack Snyder fans who will demand that you finish the movie now. Like
there's going to be the group that even if it's not finished, it's better than the Joss Whedon cut. I mean, no matter what, there are people who are going to be like, finally, even if it is filled with unfinished effects and storyboards and mustaches, there's going to be the mustache.
The best you can hope for in this situation is that it's as good as Batman versus Superman, which was not that good. There's no winning here.
Yeah.
And my father, who loves Batman v Superman, is screaming at me and is going to text me, be like, I can't believe you didn't like it. I think I was pretty clear that I didn't really, wasn't on fire for that movie.
Yes, you've been very clear.
Very vocal. To add insult to injury for me on this, Zack Snyder announced the news live on a Q&A following a virtual screening of Man of Steel. So he thought it would be great to just, hey, let's watch Man of Steel and have a Q&A together. And then let's announce that I'm killing CJ Mellon's hopes and dreams by releasing the Snyder Cut on HBO.
He specifically actually said that.
On HBO Max, by the way, in 2021. So, I mean...
You mean not on the platform, just purely curated for DC content?
Oh, hell no. No, that thing's going to die.
That's not where we're going to drop that?
No. Why would you put that on there?
We sunk a lot of money into UI and servers and putting all this, advertising into it to not put DC content on it.
Welcome to AT&T, where nothing's thought up and you just got to roll with it. Yep. HBO Max 2021. So they've got time, Brian, to go ahead and finish it. Listen, the movie cost allegedly $300 million, right?
And it didn't even make that back.
It did gross $650 million worldwide.
Right, but after advertising.
Oh,
it's
after
still a
advertising,
flop.
fuck no. But I'm sure. That's the thing I don't understand. I guess they're using the
It
leftover Joker
fiscally
money.
doesn't make any sense to throw
they're-
more money into it.
They're taking the leftover Joker money, the money that they made on Joker, and putting it into this. Anything
No one
to
is
get
signing
people
up for HBO Max to see this. This is not the thing that gets you to sign up for HBO Max.
And let's be double frank. The stupid Snyder Cut petition hashtag assholes probably aren't going to pay for HBO Max. They're just going to torrent this. They're going to illegally download the Snyder Cut. They're not going to watch it on HBO Max.
That's true.
They're because HBO Max isn't going to let it make gifts out of it, so they're just going to download it illegally. So if you're going to drop the Snyder Cut, just fucking drop it. Just Zack Snyder's already done leaks of this. Just go to YouTube, go to Pirate Bay, drop it on there, and walk away. What the fuck do you care about? Just get out of here. So that happened. So fine. This is happening. Josh, how do you feel about this part? We've been dominating this part of the conversation.
I think the thing I like most about it is that you guys like it. Like that's really what does it for me.
Thanks, Josh.
Yep, absolutely. I'm over here going,
We should have a watch party.
yeah.
Should all watch it together.
I agree. I think we should.
I can.
When everybody gets HBO Max.
I can arrange that. That's the sad part. I'd do it. So, of course, now the stars are coming out, right, to talk about it. So the stars of the movie are coming out. Ben Affleck released a statement via Kevin Smith, because he couldn't appear on Fat Man on Batman, said, "I'm very excited that Zach's getting a chance to finally see his vision realized. I think it's a great thing. I'm really excited for the fans to see it, and I want to say thank you to the fans because it was their enthusiasm and passion that made it happen." Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. Without fan support, I don't think it would have ever happened. I love Zach, and I love his vision of the movie, and I look forward to everyone getting the chance to see it. Do you really want to be thanking this group? Like, this is
he's
not
the best part of freaking
Oh yeah,
that entire thing.
Again.
Anyway. Him and Gal Gadot.
yeah.
What do you?
I'm
what do
done.
you? What can you say about it? I mean,
This is
what
here's-
we've got. This
Josh,
is all
here's
we
the
have
thing.
for DC now.
I'm
That's
going
all
to sit
we've got.
here and complain for 20 minutes, but I'm still going to watch the stupid thing.
I don't.
I
think
know
it's
you
really worth
will.
it.
I know you will.
2.5 hours of my life.
Never get those minutes back.
No, you're not getting any of this time back. I see this again as a why. I get they're trying to get HBO Max, right? This is all just a push to get people to go to HBO Max because there's nothing right now. Again, I can't point to the one thing on HBO Max that makes it better than any other streaming service
But
besides the
CJ,
fact that
you
it's
can
HBO
stream Big Bang Theory on HBO Max.
and Friends. Sure, okay, but like when the fans of Sonic, right, when the internet got together and said Sonic, this design sucks, right? Fix the redesign. We all said to each other, this is a dangerous game, right? Studios listening to fans. It needs, we as fans need to show up to make it worth it, and this needs to be a good change, and it was. And this is the other thing: the release the Snyder Cut hashtag has just been beaten to death over and over again. It's the thing that will never end. And the thing is, I don't think the people who want this movie, after they really watch it, are really going to be happy about it. I think they're going to be like, listen, I campaigned for this for 5 years. Sure, I'm going to say I loved it, but I don't think they're going to.
It's going to be like Avatar, where everybody has to love it for like 5 years, and then we're all going to look back and be like, no, that was kind of crap. Yeah, I just said that.
I just want to be clear. You mean Avatar, the James Cameron movie, not the Last Airbender thing on Nickelodeon?
Of course not.
which
The Last
loves.
Airbender is freaking amazing.
It's
Not
it's
the
on
movie,
Netflix,
the
by the way, now.
cartoon. I know. I own it. I don't need the
don't.
Netflix.
I don't.
It's so good. I own Legend of Korra too.
I mean, I no matter what, this doesn't help DC. I mean, I guess it does. I mean, does it?
No, because they have an app to put this shit on and they don't use it.
Well, that has nothing to do with whether it helps DC or not.
But doesn't the fact that this is an alternate? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I cut you off. I need to shut up.
No, I just think that DC itself isn't really helped by DC Universe, right? Because
Right.
the only people subscribing are people like us. Putting it on HBO and causing more stir about it generates more buzz about the next thing DC does. So that's really it. I mean, you can't even compare them to Marvel as far as the movies go. And that's really all that anybody knows about anymore, right?
There's already plenty of buzz around Wonder Woman too, though.
And
they don't need the extra buzz.
Well, is there though? Because there's been
a lot of buzz around.
There's buzz. That's fine, but like it's not the same buzz you get with a Marvel movie.
Here's my problem with this.
It's never going to be.
DC did a tone shift right after Justice League, and because of Justice League, Shazam is a very different movie than anything else that's in the DC universe, and that was confusing and that was weird. Is it in it? Is it not in it? What's happening? You got to Aquaman, right? And you did that again, another tone shift, colors, lights, funny, humor, jokes. You looking at Birds of Prey. You're looking at Wonder Woman that's coming out. It's all different than the Snyder aesthetic that was started with Man of Steel and started with Batman vs Superman and was initially slated for Justice League. So releasing this, making this basically the right now, because there's nothing coming out, the latest DC movie again, and then you're going to jump back into Wonder Woman, which is going to have a completely different tone from this. This is this is a backslide. This is going backwards in setting the tone for this. And you know that there are going to be some people who get HBO Max, see all the DC stuff on there, be like, I guess I'll watch it, and watch this cut of the movie, and then they move on to the next one, and it's going to be weird. They're going to be totally different tones. It'd be like watching the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man #1 and then jumping to Homecoming. There's a big freaking change in between those movies. So it's just confusing the tone of what DC movies are and what we are going to expect from their future slate. Like, if we ever get a Flash movie, what the hell is that movie going to look like? So I think this really
muddies... a Flash movie coming out?
We'll see. I think this muddies the water. Just if I was a DC fan, I mean, this really muddies the water of what DC is.
This is also like, does anybody know if Ezra Miller is still the Flash? Like,
no,
he was just in what you call it?
Yeah, we'll see if he got canceled though.
What you call it?
He was just in Crisis. So.
Oh yeah, I got that ruined for me, and then I forgot about it, and now I just
got ruined again. Same thing, same exact thing. God damn it! I completely forgot about that. Son of a bitch. I don't know what's going on with the Flash.
Let's end the show. I'm pissed off now.
No, I want to talk.
Not pissed at you, Josh. I'm just pissed.
Well, I get it.
Here's the thing: we got so many people reaching out for this, and I'm so tired of. I hate this fucking thing. I hate the idea. I hate the fact that these fucking bros on Twitter just relentlessly throwing this hashtag out, making the last movie. It was clearly Joss Whedon's fault that this movie was bad. Not the fact that it was a bad movie to begin with. Getting their way and feeling like
was
they're
not
vindicated.
Salvageable to begin with. Joss Whedon did what he could.
Right. And I guess it's sustaining the show. I hate that they're getting what they wanted. And that pisses me off. Because there are other things that we could be getting instead of this bullshit. But because nothing is being filmed, because we can't get anything new, let's just rehash old shit and let internet trolls build buzz for a streaming service. Like, I can't get mad at the marketing. This is great marketing for HBO Max, just like Josh said. You want to get buzz talking about your streaming service? Throw up a big controversy like the Snyder Cut. Do it, right? This was going on from the beginning. Oh, are they going to put Snyder Cut on HBO Max? Oh, who knows? And now it's just getting everyone to talk about HBO Max. But now, for me, this is all just negative shit for HBO Max. This makes me extra not want to have HBO Max. I'm going to have it because it's the same price as HBO.
This makes you extra not want it.
Yeah, extra not want it. Yep.
This thing.
Grammar makes my smarts come through.
No. I'm fine with
the idiotic
it didn't
stuff.
It didn't hurt the way you said it. I was fine with that. It's just that this is what makes you extra not want HBO Max. This specific topic.
This belongs on a DC. This belongs on something specifically for DC fans.
But that's not HBO's fault. It's not HBO's job.
It's not even HBO.
No,
this isn't even HBO. That's the thing, though. Remember, HBO Max is not HBO. HBO Max is Warner Brothers.
Oh, okay, but again, so what? You like HBO content, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so this thing that's not HBO's fault making you extra not want it. How does that make sense? How does it make sense?
So here's the thing.
I think the thing is he still has the option of having HBO Go or HBO Now and having HBO content. This is making him not want all the extra Warner Brothers bullshit.
Okay.
Because think about this. The thing that we all like about HBO and the brand of HBO is it's associated with good content, right? It's associated with high quality stuff that we all enjoy, right? Not we, the collective, but like if you like HBO, you're in it. they're taking that brand and saying, hey, you remember all that, the curation and the amount of care that goes into making stuff? Well, we don't want those people. We just want that name because we want your money. So come over here. We're going to take all the curation that you love so much, throw it the fuck out, and put just HBO on front of this. Instead of calling this WB Max, right, or WB Stream or anything like that, let's make HBO come into this, but HBO has no say about what's coming over to this platform. So let's
That's a valid point.
Let's make more, Twitter bots and Twitter bros throw up shitty hashtags and put more crappy content on this service. If it'll generate content and get people to talk about our service, let's do it. Let's recut all the movies that are on. Let's get rid of all the quality control from HBO and just throw it in there and damage the HBO brand. And that's what really gets me riled up about this, is that it's HBO Max. If this was Warner Brothers Max, I would expect this from Warner Brothers. But now you're hurting my opinion on HBO.
All right. That's fair. I can't argue that. That's fair.
Oh my God, I did it? I made a rational argument that wasn't based on emotion?
No, it was certainly emotional.
It was based on emotion.
It was definitely emotional, but I think that's part of what sold me. So
right.
I'm fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Is there any version of this movie that you think exists that will be better than theatrical cut, or are we just destined to be let down by this?
No. The theatrical cut wasn't.
I can't stand extended cuts, director's cut, unrated cuts. If the director or the studio wanted it in their movie, that would be the theatrical cut. The theatrical cut is what they put out. It's what they sunk millions of dollars into it. That is the version of the movie that they wanted to present. I don't need any other cut of this movie. And I say that owning several unrated cuts, but it also has the theatrical versions in there, and I'm good with that.
Wasn't there something that was on our docket that was Josh Trank?
No, but what about Josh Trank?
Well, you just said the theatrical cut is usually what, if the director wanted it and the studio wanted it, it's in the theatrical cut.
I will give you two examples of where that is not the case. The first one is Blade Runner. The second one is Josh Trank's Fantastic Four. That's it. The only time you ever hear of that much meddling, making it not what the director intended.
And I guess that's my question for this movie. Was this movie too much meddling, and that's why Joss Whedon had to redo it all? Or was this movie not good to begin with, and a guy just came in and tried to fix it the best he could?
The movie wasn't good.
Agreed.
That means that Zack Snyder's vision, right? What we started with was not good at all. So there's no way this movie could be better. If it was already bad, more bad stuff does not make it better. The extended, isn't there an extended cut of Batman vs Superman?
Who wrote the movie?
That's a great question.
That's who I have a problem with.
I think
whoever wrote
Joss
the movie.
Whedon gets a writing credit because he did the rewrites. I'm looking it up.
To answer your question, Batman v Superman does have an unrated cut. It adds nothing to the film.
But everyone said it did, right? Everyone said it made it better.
The Ultimate Edition, I liked it. I've never seen the theatrical cut.
It adds more to the Lois Lane story. It makes that whole story make more sense. So I guess I'm wrong. Because once that makes sense, the movie is a lot better.
But it takes now 3.5 hours, right?
Yeah, it takes like 3 hours.
So there are 9 writers, by the way, Josh. Oh, well, hold on. You got Superman created by. Let me see who actually wrote this stuff. Story by Chris
Zack
Terrio and
Chris
Zack Snyder.
Terrio, Joss Whedon.
Pretty much, that's it. It's those.
Yeah, I've got problems with those.
And again, Joss Whedon gets the writing credit because he came in and touched up what Zack Snyder did. So it was Chris and Zack that were the two main architects of the story. And if it wasn't good when it was the two of them, why is adding more? If you already started with something bad, it doesn't help. If you already over seasoned, your dish.
I don't know, man. Maybe
adding more salt.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
Right. So adding to what CJ was saying earlier, like changing the tones of whatever, like I don't know that adding Joss Whedon's spin to something that's Zack Snyder-y makes it better. Like I think you end up with what you ended up with. Maybe it would have been fine if it was Zack Snyder front to back. I don't know. But the movie, the way it ended up, wasn't good.
I've got 2 other DC movies that were Zack Snyder that prove that it wasn't good to begin with.
Don't you always shit on Man of Steel, and I love
Man of Steel is good. Batman v Superman, the theatrical version, was disappointing, and the unrated version is better, but it's still not great.
No, not great. And I don't think any of them are as good as Man of Steel.
The fact of the matter is this franchise was mediocre at best.
Which is a shame because I think we've agreed a bunch of times that this is the best Batman, like the best all-around Batman we've ever had.
So far, yeah, absolutely. We all sat there with Ben Affleck's going to shit the bed, and we're all just going, after watching both of those movies, going, holy fuck, Ben Affleck's the best part of this entire thing.
Right. He was great.
Absolutely. So, again, I can understand why Ben Affleck's really excited for this. He's the best part of the movie. So no matter if it's a good cut or bad cut, he's great. So
I love Henry Cavill. Like the
fact of the matter is this: the casting, with the exception of Ezra Miller, is on point.
Yes.
Say what you want about Momoa. He looks good in
sure.
green.
Yeah.
The problem with this entire franchise to begin with has been the story. As much as I enjoy Man of Steel, there are huge issues with Man of Steel.
All of the villains in every one of these movies has been dog shit. They even figured out a way to make Zod dog shit.
It's the sky beam in the sky problem for all of these movies.
Yeah, you can't blame that, though. That's 2013. Avengers did the same thing in 2012.
And
you can't blame that.
And we were mad about that.
No, I was completely fine with it.
I was mad about sky beam in the sky.
You deal with it.
Okay.
My point is, the casting's on point. They clearly have the money. It's not any of the actors' faults. It is purely and squarely Zack Snyder's issue.
And I'm okay with putting it in the remember, this was very early in our podcast, the dark and gritty. I think it was like the third episode we ever did, right? Of talking about take the tone of DC and make it dark and gritty. I'm fine with that. Just make it a good story. And I've never been impressed with a DC story, right? With the exception of Shazam. That's it. The exception of Shazam.
I semi enjoyed Aquaman. I wasn't on fire about it.
I did not.
Have you ever
Wonder Woman?
Have you ever read the article from the point of view of the Skybeam?
No, but please send that to me.
Written by Dennis Flynn for Observer.com.
Oh my God, I love this.
Yeah.
No, but I will. That will now be my weekend read. This is totally happening. Listen. I understand people want this. I understand that this is going to. Here's the other part too. This is nothing for the fandom, right? This is nothing for. This just continues the divide, right? And even now, if we have people who see this and we agree is universally bad, but these people were sticking up for so many years, they're never going to admit that they were wrong and that this is a bad version. They shouldn't have asked for it. So there's nothing. No one's going to shift. No one's going to change their opinions on this. This isn't going to make Marvel people like DC movies more. This isn't going to make DC people hate DC movies less. Like nothing's going to change.
It does something even worse. It divides the DC fandom.
Yeah,
because you're going to have a division between I like the theatrical version and I like the Zack Snyder cut.
But that's already there. I guess now, and it's just now it's bigger numbers. But now
you're giving validity to it because I've seen the Zack Snyder cut,
right,
and I know it's better. Whereas, I want to see the Zack Snyder cut, but I don't know how good it is. Now people are going to see it, and now they're going to feel justified in saying that it's better than the theatrical version, which.
And you brought up an interesting movie that has this issue too, which is Blade Runner, right? There are people who have very strong feelings about the ultimate cut, the director's cut, the theatrical release. Which one's better?
I
but at the end of the day, though, they all love Blade Runner, right? They all think it's good.
I don't think you're gonna have the same thing with Justice League.
I don't. And you know what? I think WB, because again, I don't want to blame HBO. This isn't HBO's fault. WB, I don't think has that. And ironically enough, I think they have Blade Runner, don't they?
Hang on, let me check.
I think that's a WB movie.
Yes, it's Warner Brothers.
It's Warner Brothers. So like they know that this can happen to a fandom. This is what gets me mad. You have the opportunity to learn and just you won't. And you have the opportunity to take a great brand who's known for content curation and making quality stuff and not even have them involved, but use their name on it. It's like when I tweet from the That Kind of Nerd Twitter account. Everyone's just like, I don't think you should be doing that. Your views don't necessarily reflect our views. You'll go back to your account and just put out the news that we normally cover with That Kind of Nerd.
It's like when I write my name at the top of Josh's test paper. This is mine now, thanks.
In what world are you guys even? I'm not even gonna. What test are you taking that you could do that? I don't want to know. Anyway,
it's exactly the test that you think it is.
Okay.
Don't worry, I passed.
Okay, good.
Thanks to Josh.
That's good. That's good to know. I don't want to explore this at all. All right. I mean, that's all I have to say about this. I honestly do not know if I will bring myself to watch the Snyder Cut. I will probably watch a YouTube video of what's different in the Snyder Cut versus the theatrical cut and spend 30 minutes on that, then give my actual time to this movie. But I don't know. Yeah, the time may prove me wrong. I may just have to watch it because of this podcast and the relationship that we have with this thing. I don't know. All right, listeners. I want to thank you so much for listening to the show, and I want to hear what you think about this conversation. So you can find us on I'm so sorry. You can find us on social media, That Kind of Nerd, on everything except for Instagram at That Kind of Nerd Podcast. You can also text us if you're one of those people who like to text us, 484-373-4119. That's whoa. Oh, well, I'm not going to repeat it because I just forgot the fucking phone number.
484-373-4119.
That's right. There you go. So thank you, listeners, so much for making us whatever it is that we are to you during this time. And we will talk to you next week.
Well, welcome to the club, because you are that kind of nerd.